shock to all of us. Highly, highly respected jurist, trailblazer, someone who, by all accounts, came from humbling dynamics, but turned into someone of great capacity, great impact. Always kept her feet on the ground, always remembered where she came from. And it's just very, very sad as someone who, for so many people in the state, for so many young people, had been a role model, and someone who made history in the state in such a powerful way, is lost to us so suddenly, and we obviously are still waiting for the full investigation. But to the extent that the challenges and stresses in her life contributed to this, it's a reminder that even the most accomplished people still deal with extraordinary challenges inwardly, and we don't get to see that, and it is humbling. So it's a sad day, someone who got so far and then lost so soon. I just wanted to say that up front because I know it's on the minds of so many. With that, want to thank the Chancellor, who you'll hear from in a moment. Thank First Deputy Mayor Tony Shores and all the leadership of DOE and the administration that's present here for this meeting. And, we have this week had an opportunity to really focus on Staten Island, and it's been very, very productive, and we're going to be doing that up ahead with each of the other boroughs. And one of the things we're finding right away is when an entire administration focuses in this manner, a lot gets done, a lot of things that we're waiting for resolution get. And this is true, government's very big, it's a big city, so by nature, there's lots of things on any given day that we're working on that still haven't been resolved, but when you focus everyone's attention on one thing, a lot of things move, and it's been very, very productive. And there's also the opportunity to hear from people. I got a lot out of the resource fair we had, the office hours, open house, whatever you want to call it. I got a lot out of it, a lot of great suggestions, and some complaints that were good to hear from people, and I think helped us to think about things we need to do differently. Again, we're going to continue that model going forward. I'm looking forward to the town hall meeting tonight with Councilmember Debbie Rose. All of these things help us to understand how to keep deepening our work. But let me say that in terms of the work of the Department of Education, it is outstanding in all 5 boroughs, but there are some successes here in Staten Island that are really extraordinary. And the vision that we've put in place of equity and excellence plays out in many ways, but I want to help you understand what it's meaning for Staten Island already. The fact is we've got 66,000 public school kids in Staten Island, and equity and excellence as a vision has helped them to be part of a great citywide trend towards higher graduation rates, lower dropout rates, higher test scores. This is happening everywhere, but nowhere is it happening more powerfully than Staten Island. Staten Island has the highest graduation rate and the lowest dropout rate in its history. It also leads the city with the highest graduation rate and lowest dropout rate citywide, and that's something that Staten Islanders should be very, very proud of. Pre-K, central element of our equity and excellence vision, obviously my number one priority when I came in the door as mayor. There are 5 times as many kids enrolled in full-day pre-K in Staten Island today than in the school year that was underway when I took office. So we've been in here, 3 years and 3 months. We already have 5 times as many kids in full-day pre-K, almost 4,000 kids today versus just under 800 when we come in. And already, as another piece of the equity and excellence vision, every middle school kid in Staten Island has 2 things they didn't used to have. Every middle school child has access to free after-school programs, literally every single one. It's a universal right now. And on top of that, every middle school child in Staten Island this school year is being taken to a college to see what college is all about and to know that that opportunity can be there for them. And this is a key part of equity and excellence, to get that early college exposure. Literally every single middle school student in Staten Island will have that experience. Now, when we started the school year this year, we went all over the city, the Chancellor and I. One of the places we went that we're very proud of is Port Richmond High School. And Port Richmond is a school that is definitely on the upswing.
Absolutely.
Some great things happening there. I was struck, you know, it's a community school. It's a school that has, when you see just physically what's been created there, extraordinary. The health center, the involvement, this is something the Chancellor talked about, the passion of hers, the involvement of colleges in Staten Island in Port Richmond. Some very, very powerful things happening there. And it's also the first high school with a dual language program on Staten Island. So, you know, the mission is simple. It's give every kid a chance to succeed. You know, if you had to boil down what we talk about in these meetings every single week is how do we give every kid a chance to succeed? And I am convinced this vision is working, and we're seeing real tangible evidence of it here on Staten Island. With that, I'd love to turn to the Chancellor for her comments.
Well, first and foremost, I have to say that Staten Island is actually the model for our collaboration with the university partners. There are 3 universities out here, St. John's, Staten Island, and as well as Wagner. And they were the first in the city to embed some of their instructors, guidance counselors in our high schools. And this is a large effort, and I came to many meetings here with the borough president with his commitment that if you're going to be on Staten Island, you have to give value back to Staten Island. So we're actually using Staten Island as a model for the rest of the city. I think also Staten Island has a particular advantage for having one superintendent and one borough office that actually talk to each other on a regular basis, and that they have a common vision. I think also having elected officials out here who really understand education and are committed to it makes a big difference. This is a district that is also experimenting, and I don't want to use jargon, I will be very clear, because of the large number of IEPs that in every single elementary school in Staten Island, there are teachers who are specifically trained in something we call Orton Gillingham, which is for students who may have some disabilities, and this is the first time ever that any district has embraced it as citywide. Today I went to visit IS 51, and I think IS 51 has done a particularly good job of putting houses. I saw they're getting ready to do Bye Bye Birdie. I got to see their band, I got to see the theater program. These kids all came in during the holidays. This is a holiday week for kids, and yet there were a lot of students in that building being energized. There was some alum who came back to help practice with the band. They were doing STEM work. Some of the best STEM work in the city is actually also happening. PS 57, I want to give them a shout out. They started Soapbox Derby. Every school's going to be involved in engaged in a Soapbox Derby. So I think, having spent a lot of time in Staten Island in the past, and even in my former jobs, I see a certain amount of energy, I see a certain amount of commitment out here that I think is really, really spectacular. And I think also that what you're seeing is an engagement of parents that is really different than what has happened before. So like I said, I couldn't be prouder. I work very closely with the elected officials out here, but I do see the energy here on a very high level compared to what it might have been. I go back to Staten Island before there was a Verrazano Bridge. So I remember, and this is now a place where the expectation to go to college, for example, is much higher than it's been, and the college readiness, not just the graduation, but college readiness is an all-time high. So we keep to working with people out here. Obviously, one of the issues that keeps coming up is where are we going to put, for all the growing people who are coming to Staten Island, the new St. George terminal is going to really, I think, enhance the district even more. So I do think that taking all that into account. I also want to say that Staten Island Press, at one point Staten Island Advance, I want to give a shout out to the press, has really done something really remarkable, and I'd love to see this go citywide. Staten Island Advance now highlights our hidden gems in their newspaper and has helped us make public education a matter of conversation out in the island by saying what different schools are doing, and just sent them a thank you letter today, because it really sometimes means that you can't judge a school but what the reputation was 5-10 years ago.
Right.
You've got to rebrand, and the press can help us do that in places where it's real and deep.
Well
Thank
said.
you.
Thanks, everyone.
Any questions?
Appreciate it. Thanks, everyone. Appreciate it.